So we just have a couple questions left to do for section 8.2. We are going to look at setting up a system of three equations with three variables from a word problem. The first thing you want to do is make sure you've defined your variables. Now in the first one, they did that for us. They said let x be the first number, y be the second number, and z be the third number. Use the given conditions to write a system of equations and then solve it. It says the sum of three numbers is 13. What does sum mean? Okay, so it's saying if we add those three numbers together, we should get 13. Okay? The next sentence says the sum of twice the first number, so sum again we're adding, twice the first number would be written as what? Okay, so we're adding a 2x, we're adding twice the first number, 4 times the second number. So we're adding 4 y's, and then 5 times the third number, so 5 z's, and that sum is 50. Okay? Our next sentence says the difference. What does difference mean? So the difference between 7 times the first number and the second number. So we have 7 times the first number. We're looking at the difference of that with the second number, and we want our total to be 25. Okay, so now we have a system of three variables with three equations. We're going to get rid of one of them. Do you have one that you'd like to get rid of? Makes sense to get rid of z because we already have an equation that doesn't have a z in it. Okay, so we're going to be combining the first two equations somehow to cancel the z's. What would we have to multiply by? Okay, so negative 5 times the first equation, and then add it to the second equation. All right, so let's times the first one by negative 5. That gets me negative 5x, negative 5y, negative 5z. What's negative 5 times 13? Okay. Now we're combining it, we said, with the second equation. When we add those together, we end up with negative 3x and negative y. Our z's drop out, and we end up with a negative 15 for a total for the constants. Okay? Now, we have two equations. We have one here, and we have one here that both just involve an x and a y. All right, so we're going to put that together as our smaller system and solve that. So we have 7x minus y equals 25. We have negative 3x minus y equals negative 15. What would we have to do to get those to drop out? All right, we need to change one of the y's to be a positive. So let's change the second equation. Let's multiply it by a negative 1. So that's going to make this a positive 3. It's going to make it a positive y, and it's going to make it a positive 15. All right. Now when I add them, I get 10x equaling 40. So x is going to have to be a 4. Okay. Now, if we know that x is 4, can we dump that back in and find y? Which equation do you want to plug it into? Which one? The 7x one? All right. So we are going to take this x being 4 and dump it in there. So 4 times 7 would be 28 minus y equals 25. So 28 minus what? 3. So y has to be 3. And now that we know that x is 4 and y is 3, can we dump those back in and find z? Which equation do you want to use? We have to go back to our original ones, right? First one, and we said x was 4, y was 3. So 4 plus 3 is 7. 7 plus what would get us 13? All right, so we know that z has to be 6. So we can put that as an ordered triple. We'd have 4, 3, and 6 for a final answer. Okay? All right, our second one says, on a recent trip to the convenience store, you pick up 2 gallons of milk, 5 bottles of water, and 8 snack-sized bags of chips. Your total bill before tax was $23.90. If a bottle of water costs twice as much as a bag of chips, and a gallon of milk costs $1.50 more than a bottle of water, how much does each item cost? Okay, so first of all, we want to define our variables. If we let M equal the milk, and we let W equal a bottle of water, and C equal a bag of chips. Will that work? You can use X, Y, and Z, I don't care. I just think labeling them with what they are, with that first letter, is going to help you keep them straight. So these are the prices of each of these, yes? So prices of a gallon of milk, price of a bag of chips, price of a bottle of water. Keep in mind that we want to write 3 equations. If we have 3 variables, we need 3 equations. Okay? So let's look at the first sentence. It says we pick up 2 gallons of milk. So we could write that as 2M. Okay, 2 milks. We get 5 bottles of water, so plus 5W. And we get 8 bags of chips. And our total bill is $23.90. Okay. Second sentence says, if a bottle of water, so a W, costs twice as much as a bag of chips. So a bottle of water is twice as much as the chips. So water would equal 2 chips. And it says a gallon of milk, so M, it says is $1.50 more than a bottle of water. How would we write that? Okay. Do we have 3 equations? Yes. Now, they're not lined up. We like to have M's lined up in a column, W's lined up in a column, C's lined up in a column. So we're going to do some rearranging. But we have our system. Okay? So let's keep our first equation the way it is. Our second equation, I'm going to put that W and 2C on the same side. So I'm going to subtract the 2C over. And now I have it equal to 0 on the right-hand side. Okay? And then for the third equation, I'm going to bring the W over to the left side. So I would have M minus W equaling $1.50. Okay, so that's my new system, but they're lined up so I can kind of tell what I should try to cancel out. Okay? So let's go through and try to get M's to disappear. All right? What would we need to do if we were going to eliminate M? We'd have to multiply which one? The bottom equation by -2. All right, so we're going to take equation 1, and we're going to add to it a -2 times equation 3. All right, so I'm going to keep the first equation. I'm going to take the third equation and times by -2, so -2M plus 2W. And what's -2 times $1.50? Okay. Adding these up, the M's drop out. We have 7W plus 8C equaling $20.90. We good with that? Now, can we combine that one and this one? Both of those have just W's and C's? Okay, so let's put those together. We've got W minus 2C equals 0. We've got 7W plus 8C equaling $20.90. what would we have to do to get, let's say, the W's to drop out? Okay, times the top one by -7. If we wanted the C's to drop out, times the top one by 4. Which one do you want to do? Top one by 4. All right, so let's multiply this by a 4. So we get 4W minus 8C. 4 times 0 is still 0. Adding together, we end up with 11W equaling $20.90. All right, so take $20.90 and divide it by 11. What do we get for the price of water? What do we get? $1.90. Okay, if we know water, can we figure out chips? Yes? All right, let's dump it back into, how about that one? So $1.90 minus 2C has to equal 0. That means $1.90 would equal 2C. What's $1.90 divided by 2? $1.90 divided by 2. 95 cents. All right. So snack size bag of chips is 95 cents. A bottle of water is $1.90. Can we now figure out the milk? All right. So we need to go back to one of our equations. We need a milk one. All right. So how about milk minus water equals $1.50? Milk minus water is $1.50. We said the water was $1.90. So M minus $1.90 equals $1.50. Add the 190 to the other side. What do we get? All right. So milk is $3.40 a gallon. Chips were 95 cents for a snack size bag, and a bottle of water is $1.90. Yes? Yep. All right. So make sure you don't try to put everything into one equation. All right? We need to set up 3 equations if we have 3 variables. So your homework on page 813, you are going to do 23, 24, 33, 35, 37, and 39.